Alright, before anybody says anything in the comments, I'm not trying to make an extreme demon. I'm trying to make a enjoyable level. I don't want something like 1,000 frame perfects. I want to make a level that's actually enjoyable to play. This video is not about making a top 1. We're trying to make a level that's easy but not completely free. Alright, I don't think now's the time, but I have no clue how to decorate, so this level is very simplistic right now. I don't really think we should worry about decorating until the level is actually done. I don't know how people build levels. Do they decorate as they go, or do they just build the level and then decorate? I have no clue. I don't build levels. I'm completely new to this. Dude, I want to remove this part where the game just like temporarily blinds you. Does anybody know how to turn off like portal animations? Right now we're just trying to play the level and find stuff that... Anyways, as I was saying, we're going to be playing the level and just trying to find stuff that just looks off. Like these spikes right here, if you look closely, they're not perfectly on the block. But luckily, it was just a pretty quick fix. Now, I'm not going to show you guys all of this, number 1, because it's boring, and number 2, I'm terrible at using the editor. Now we're going to play this game called Can You Spot Where I Made the Mistake in the Level? I was literally fixing stuff and somehow I broke it. Let me know down below where you saw it. So what you're looking at right now is what I've built before I decided I was actually going to make a video about this. And if we're planning to make the best level in Geometry Dash, this is going to take a long time. So I'm officially setting 3 rules for this challenge. Each video I have to improve the decoration, the gameplay, and what was the last one? How good it syncs with the music. Because these are the 3 things that make a good level. And good coins. You gotta have good coins. Anyways, for the next couple of minutes, I decided to just fix things up, and I decided to do this as a time lapse because I know nobody wants to see me just fixing this stuff. So we're going to move on to the fun part, which is actually building new parts of the level. So just the other day, I figured out how to use like the shake thing, and I really like this effect, so I think we should add it somewhere else in the level. And what better spot to put it than this black orb right here that ends the flying section. So that's exactly what I did, and it didn't really take me that long until I figured out that it doesn't really sync with the music, so I just scrapped it and did something else. I figured it would be a good idea to find a spot that it would sync up well and just mark it so I can use this idea in the future. So I added a start position, and I was wondering why the marker I put didn't sync with the music that I was hearing, and then I realized the start position doesn't actually save like when you're at 2x speed or 3x speed, but I fixed it and it works pretty well. Now, a lot of you might know my favorite level is Jumper because number 1, the song, it's so good. Number 2, the gameplay is great. Like playing this and beating it for the first time, knowing when to jump and when not to, is just so fun. If it's my favorite level, I obviously have to take some inspiration from that and incorporate it into my level if I want this to be the best level ever. So I added a part to the level that kind of reminded me of the start of Jumper, and it actually ended up a lot better than I thought, and it synced up with the music like perfectly. So I'm actually pretty proud of this part. I forgot to hit record, but I did make this little upside down section which really nails the vibe of Jumper. And if you look on the screen, you can see we finally hit the milestone of a medium level. So I think that's where we're going to stop with building. Now it's time to decorate. So I instantly just went on YouTube and looked up a tutorial. Listen, it's not against the rules. Go back, check the rules. Is there a rule on here that says no tutorials? No, there's not. It's fine. So I watched the video and got educated. Shout out this guy, by the way. This is the guy that made this video. So I watched the video and I was trying to find just some information that I could use just to get a rough idea of how to decorate. Then he said this.
You don't need 99% of the ones in the editor, especially as a beginner. The ones you should start using are these: lines, squares, triangles, and circles. If you take an image of an object, you can break it into a combination of these shapes, which also means you can construct any new shape out of these ones.
And that's all I need to know. We're gonna start making some really cool stuff. The idea I want to do is just like a bunch of crystals, and like they're all, I don't know. And then the spikes can also be crystals too. I think that would be cool. So this is the area we're gonna start with just to get a gist of, you know, what I'm actually doing. So I went in my editor and I started looking for the shapes that this guy was talking about. And I mean, I found the stick, but I couldn't find the triangle that I wanted. But I did find this shape, which I mean, it does kind of look like a crystal shard if you just look at it the right way. I now have so much respect for level builders because this took me 9 minutes just to do the simplest thing. So I discovered the warp tool and decided to try and make some, crystal blocks for the player to stand on. I don't know. But this took absolutely forever. And I thought, you know what? Decorating as you go is probably going to be much more of a headache than just decorating when you're done. So sadly, we're going to have to break rule number 1, which is like, rule number 1 is supposed to be the most important rule, but there's just no way I can do this. I will lose my mind. Don't worry, this is going to be a series and it's going to track my progress from terrible creator to really good creator as I make the best level Geometry Dash has ever seen. But without further ado, this is a preview of V1. But before we start the level, I just want to show you something that's really important that I never even thought about. The name of the level. It's literally just the ID for the song. And the song, which is another important factor of making a really good level. I just typed in a random ID. I was like, dude, how was I supposed to know that future me would want to turn this into a video? Like, I didn't know I was gonna go all out on making a level. But without further ado, here it is.
Sometimes you just gotta let it go.
For a lot of you people that have been playing Geometry Dash for a long time are probably gonna say this is basic, it sucks, but you gotta keep in mind, I have never touched the level creator, like ever. And I wanna make a level that is fun, it's not super difficult, it's just something that everyone can play and enjoy. Also, did you see how well the level complete thing like synced up with the music? Dude, it was so perfect. And I didn't even plan that. That level of perfectness is how I want this entire level to feel. Every jump, every spike, everything perfect, down to the T. So there you go. That's part 1 of the journey to creating the best level in Geometry Dash. It's only going to go up from here. The level is only going to get better from here. I know it sucks right now, but we're going to improve it a ton. We're going to make this a whole series. We're going to perfect this level. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. You made it to the end of the video, so that means you liked it. So that means you got to subscribe, right? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.